So today I'm sharing on meditation and step work and recovery. I believe it's from Doniel Katz, and if it's not, he's getting the credit, but I'm sure he'd be happy to refer you. Also, you can find him on YouTube. So he says, the guf is the body, and real prayer is not just physical, it's not just the body. Avodah shebelev is we work with the heart. We do something called hispodidus. We have to self-isolate, self-inquire, and remember, when there's dimyon, which is the noise of the external mind, we have to remember that there's the ultimate meditation as a longing for the divine connection. There's something called yishuv v'das, which is the mindfulness, the sit and know, and derech chazara, which is the way of repeating, the way of cycles. You might do this through TM, transcendental meditation, or mantra repetition. And then there's, when we say sit and know, there's das tachton and das alyon. Das tachton is the limited psychological self, and das alyon is the higher divine self. And this is the other illusion of consciousness, the eitz tov v'ra, the tree of good and evil, knowledge, right? Knowledge of good and evil. What was Eden? Eden was pleasure, the breakthrough of seeing the answers, the divine revelation, the seeing unity. And what is Adam Harishon, the first Adam, the first being, is the first man, is a state of being, experiencing not being separate, punishing jealousy, stinginess, lacking, inadequacy, fear of rejection, pride, lust, desire, greed, loneliness, disempowerment, competition, possessiveness. These are all when we're externalized and disconnected from the source. It's the judgment of the problem that causes the pain, the appearances, resisting development. It's a spectrum of spiritual healthy and unhealthy, and it could be even just needing others to know as if they're separate, as if it's not all one, like shame, fear, doubt, etc. When we receive healing first by maintaining and staying in it, we bring wisdom and light to all the people who are still suffering. There's a collective integration of raising of vibration, and everything we seek outside is already within. So if our decisions are not to make us feel bad after, it's releasing to God, like a woman. We're receiving the penetration of Hashem, of God, making space, and desire is the desire of all desires. So we'll always want power and honor. There's no need to repress. We're always going to we're always going to have some level of doubt, fear, or lust that could creep in. So we have to look at where do we go to overcome, achieve, and satisfy. How do we rewire these neural networks and rechannel? Nobody can keep fulfilling on the outside. Nothing is a permanent fix forever. So ratzon is like running, is the will. It's always going, right? So it teaches us to run to its source. We have to train the animal so that whatever is breaking us will support us, and in an elevated state versus a reactive state. The spiritual, psychological, and emotional fitness is watching the thoughts and cravings, even learning what is this that's trying to tell me. What would it cause me to desire to escape or alleviate, as if something's missing, as if something's wrong. We need to open ourselves to God, number one. We need to be willing to be playful and curious, number two. And number three, we're not expecting instantaneous healing, the instant gratification, because the Shekhinah knows what we need, a divine presence, indwelling, the feminine aspect is healing. It's the indwelling for all the love, revelation, and light. And we can ask God to help someone who needs it more than us, commit to it with joy, trust that we'll get everything we need and we have more than enough, which opens us to even more blessing. What is the best kind of meditation? Is to commune with a spiritual master who is being created by God now and now and now and now, so that there can be love and awe and direct dialogue with God, collective connection, releasing attachments. And becoming a tzaddik through the lust is transcending. So we have the desire, and we raise the desire to the source of the desire to become one. We step out of the role in order to come back. Yesod is what it said. Tzaddik Yesod Olam, foundation of the world. Yesod is to do with the sexual organ, receiving and transmitting. It's a foundation. So if the tzaddik is foundation of the world, we can go through our meditation by communing with the spiritual master. And that is for our desires to be channeled properly, and so that we don't make the space for the fear, doubt, lust to come in. Radical transformation therapy is releasing the deep feelings and beliefs at their core, and what do we call a root trait? Shoresh midah, the midah. So visualizing allows the mind to tune in to what is already there, whether it's energy, light, love, glory, and distance is what feels like pushback, anger, and aggression. It protects us from vulnerability. The mind is worthless, Mine is worthless and useless. For example, when we treat others like they're worthless and useless, it gets reflected back to us. It's like the disrespecting, get rejected, hurt, feel disrespected, name it with deep honesty, connecting to essence, and then thinking they need me, I have to offer something, will cause me pain, to need to be needed, to feel I'm nothing if I don't make others feel that they matter, are important. This cycle of covering up the needing to feel I matter and I'm important to others, we are already valuable and necessary and can cope. When we treat everyone like they're replaceable, then the suffering is because we're irreplaceable. We know it's not true. There's like a distance there. We have to judge others deserving and worth by how they make us feel and what they provide. We have to judge others' worth not by how they make us feel and what they provide to us based on our needs, but rather just for them being who they are, like us. The Lubavitcher Rebbe shares us messages, because he's, for example, a spiritual master. So I looked into it and I got two messages. One is my husband might be from Minnesota or related to Minnesota, something to do with that. I read a letter. I said, you know what, let me take this. Dvaykus means to cling. Who can I cling to? The Lubavitcher Rebbe. I was born into Crown Heights. So I looked and I got a letter and it said something to do with a husband, or my husband will be related through someone that has to do with Minnesota. And number 2 is stay in awe. All matters. See God in everything. And I really took that in, and this has helped me with dvaykus. Dvaykus is like the glue, the sticking together. When you stick to a spiritual master, you can't have the demonic energy stick to you, which is also related to this.